Okay, this video is the second part of my video series called My Life as a YouTube Partner, Zennie62 Turns 10, but really it's the fourth video of what is now a 4-video series celebrating that Zennie62 was turned 10. And that's a great milestone. But I lost my train of thought. I'm going back to a style of vlogging that is like a diary, okay? So I'm talking to you. And I talk to you in terms of reporting a story. Now I'm just talking to you. But in this instance, what I'm talking about, finishing not finishing it for this video, I'll probably make a third one. But the other way that my life has been affected by YouTube and vlogging. Not just on YouTube, but there was a time when I was using something called Tube Mogul, and I was uploading to YouTube, Dailymotion, Blip TV, and there was another one that comes to mind, Vidler, at 1.8 of them at once. And that didn't include Facebook. But the bottom line is, because Facebook didn't allow that at the time in terms of uploading video. We're talking about now 2007 in there, okay? But how vlogging has affected my life is that every time I see something that's interesting, I want to vlog it. I want to tell someone, hey, I saw this interesting car, or I had a conversation with this person and this is what they said about Oakland. You know, I want to show the world through my eyes, which is really how I started off doing this to begin with. But the other way it's changed is again, it's that micro celebrity thing. It's people thinking that they know you because they've seen your videos. I remember I was at Pappy's. Pappy's is a restaurant in Berkeley, which used to be called Larry Blake's, the famed Larry Blake's. And I was there with my friend, a longtime friend, Mike Silver, who you might have seen on the NFL Network if you watch football, pro football. If you don't, you don't know about him. But and then Greg and the others. And so I come in, sitting down, and we're having beers after playing our touch football game called the Little Game, which is just before the Cal Stanford big game, the day before, right? Anyway, I digress. Guy comes up to me and says, Asian, Paul Louis, I think his name is. And he says, hey, you're that guy from YouTube. You're Zennie62. And we talked. In fact, I recorded my talk, at least part of it, on YouTube to thank him for recognizing me. And Greg Haywood said, well, you don't know who Mike Silver is on the NFL Network? And he seemed visibly upset. Now, Mike's our friend, yeah, but I said to Haywood then, this is an example of how media has changed. And as more people move to video, coupled with the fact that I've got now, this will be 8,613 videos up, amassed over 65 million views. Okay, just 32,000 subscribers, but they're very special to me. But please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, okay? Please. I promise you more. Anyway, it has made me more, I feel like I'm more of a person of the world. Not that I'm worldly, but that there are people out there who actually find what I say important. And in particular moments when I thought it would never matter, or they're just very happy to meet me. And I don't view myself as a celebrity. I'll give you an example. I was having coffee in Oakland down on Lakeshore, and it was a Saturday, I believe it, yeah. And I walked downstream, went up the hill, then turned, first turn, I think it's Bentley is the street. Anyway, it was in Haddon Hill. And happened upon these A's fans. The A's fans, because they're dressed And A's garb, they just come from the game. And they were going down to a saloon called Heart and Dagger. So I thought I'd join them. I was just walking around. And they bought me a bourbon, which was great. Bourbon and water, because I have a drink quota. And we hung out and talked about the A's and the stadium issues and that sort of thing. And toward the end of our connection together, our time at Heart and Dagger, one of the fellows said, "Thank you, great hanging out with you, and thank you for being approachable." I never thought of myself as not approachable. And what we do as constant vloggers is very powerful. There are people who, if I don't treat them right in person a certain way, that changes their life. And I'm not saying it's hard for me to deal with, because I like to make people feel good. So that part of me is great. But it's still jarring to hear that. I'm just a person. And hey, look, I get treated like crap a lot. Like that Luis guy from Lyft, who decided he was going to pick me up 2 houses down from where I was, and then just argue with me. I say, "Hey, you're creeping me out. I don't want to take your cab." He insists I ride anyway, and then proceeds to call me egotistical because I say I want to go in a certain direction, and arrogant. Okay, yeah, I might be all those things, but dude, don't call me that. Let me say that. Point that I'm making is I'm just a person, okay? But and because of that, and was what it is, I love helping people tell their stories. I am not the guy that you call to make the stylish video that has the great lenses and the great directing and all that, okay? I'm the guy that uses camcorders, or in this case an iPhone, to show you life through my lens. This is the lens. You are sometimes the third party. Sometimes you're the only party. I'm talking to you right now, right? But the other thing is because I'm used to being a public figure. Does that make sense? I'm used to it. And I'm used to being talked about and even made fun of. Yes, some of those sometimes it stings. I don't like the death threat part, though. That has happened a couple of times. And not so often. I could say twice in the 10 years I've done this. And they weren't like out loud, "I'm going to kill you." But it's more like, "I wish you were killed by somebody." Okay. Even then, as Kevin Skaggs pointed this out to me when he was executive editor at sfgate.com, and I got an email that I interpreted as a death threat. And Kevin wrote back, "I still have the email." Well, no, actually it wasn't. He's just saying he wished you were dead. Okay, Kevin, I'm thinking, does that mean you sympathize with him? I don't know. The other neat aspect about my life as a YouTube partner is being associated with YouTube and all the great people, and particularly the early YouTube partner managers, people you worked with, like Eric Brown, who later took off for the Peace Corps, and then there was Chris, who was a longtime partner, manager, and friend. And Chris kind of gave way to Lance Kavanaugh, but Lance is really the director of legal. And now you don't have that same face-to-face. There's a guy named Josh that I communicate with, but it's not the same as when Chris and I were to the point where I could, text him on cell phone or something like that. And we were emailing because YouTube was smaller then, but YouTube has become so big that those days of that kind of staff interaction for now are gone, unless, of course, YouTube turns around and hires about 2,000 or maybe 4,000 or 5,000 partner managers or liaisons or whatever you want to call them. Different. But I remember the smaller YouTube, when YouTube was just getting going. It was started in 2005, and then the partner program was started in earnest in late 2007. I was made a partner in 2008, and then the partners helped you with legal issues and so on. Make sure you got your payments and everything else. They were great. Still are to this day. There's a bit of a lull, and now they're back. We also used to have the YouTube meetups, and you know, I haven't heard anything about one in a long time. Maybe I need to start one myself. Maybe YouTube has become so big that meetups aren't necessary. We have a YouTube creator space, right? Like in LA. And that's the new formal place to meet up. I have to think that one through. But there's so much I can say about my life as a YouTube partner. I've got more to say. So this is gonna be a part 3 coming up. And part 3 I'll talk more about, I'll focus on celebrities, the people that I've met because I'm a YouTube partner, and how doing this has changed my interaction with them.